Hey, what is going on guys, and welcome to my Gala Luca unit review. We finally got Gala Luca and he certainly does not disappoint. I was fortunate enough to get him in my first 10 pull, so I was able to try him out and see how he is. Turns out he's pretty darn good, and I'll explain why in this video. So, Luca is a light blade. Fun fact, I believe he's our first Sylvan blade unit. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is. Anyways, Skill 1 costs 2,870 SP, which is about the norm for Blade S1s. They usually cost somewhere in between 2,800 and 3,300. 3,000 and below is really good for Blade S1s because a full C5 combo generates 1,500 SP, so 2 C5s will be enough to fill this up. The damage mods for this skill is 5 hits of 314% light damage, which equates to about 1,500% in total, which is amazing. 2,870 SP for over 1,500% damage mods is off the charts. It's actually insane. Let me put things into perspective. Compare it to Yachio's Skill 1, which costs about 2,500 SP with damage mods only a little bit over 800%. Luca's may cost 300 SP more, but the damage mods are almost double. That's how good his Skill 1 is, and there's more to it than just that. In addition to those damage mods, the skill's crit rate is increased by 10% for each buff with a different icon applied to Luca. So I'm sure you guys are aware, but whenever your unit gains a buff, there will be these icons on the bottom that represents the buffs. For each unique icon on the bottom, it'll give Luca 10% extra crit rate just to this skill. So here's the deal. Luca's abilities can get him somewhere around at least 40% crit rate. You add all those crit rate buffs from his abilities and you add that onto this skill's effect, and all the hits from his skill 1 can nearly reach 100% crit rate. He's just an absolute crit maniac. Combine that with his high damage mods and he's going to be dishing out tons of damage in a fair amount of time. Let me remind you again that this skill only costs 2,870 SP, which can be filled with just 2 C5s, which doesn't take that long. It only takes about 6 seconds to perform 2 C5s with 4 strike fails included, so basically a skill 1 activation every 6 or 7 seconds. Now, of course, we have to talk about the animation. The animation is very anime. He does like a swift dash strike, and then there's some end lag when he goes to sheath this blade. The dash does 1 hit, and then the strike's post dash deals the other 4 hits. Do note that this skill 1 does not drop his combo, so that's fantastic. What that means is that he's able to maintain his combos to activate any flurry abilities that he has. The animation is a little bit long because of the end lag, but for the amount of damage that this skill deals, you can't really complain, right? The only issue I see here is that this skill allows Luca to go through his enemies, and that can cause some baiting or positioning issues in High Zodiac if you aren't careful, so be mindful of that whenever you use Luca there. However, once you practice it enough and learn all the right angles, then you can use it to your advantage. You can use this skill to traverse across the map instead of using 4 strikes. And by the way, do keep in mind that the whole animation needs to go through in order for the last 4 hits to apply. If Luca gets interrupted during the sheathing animation, then the 4 hits will get cancelled. But all in all, this is a very strong skill. It's gonna be his bread and butter. It's very spammable, crits a lot, so you want to make sure that you give Luca crit damage prints over a critical rate because he already has tons of ways to grant himself crit rate in his kit. Skill 2, Brilliant Booster, costs 3,899 SP. It adds 80% crit damage to the user for 10 seconds. Very low cost for a skill 2, and it's pretty good considering the rest of this kit. 80% crit damage is a lot of extra damage, although 10 seconds is kinda short, but it's a buff that's there to primarily add damage to a skill 1, and that's pretty much it. You pretty much just activate skill 2 and then use the skill 1 afterwards. So because the skill 1 animation takes a while and takes about 6 to 7 seconds to fill it back up, there won't be enough time to get 2 skill 1s in 10 seconds, so you are only going to be able to get 1 enhanced skill 1 during the skill 2 buff. And that's okay because the cost is really low. By the way, because this skill gives Luca a crit damage buff, this also means that it adds 10% crit rate to his skill 1. Now his abilities are strong as well. Connecting Call increases his crit rate by 4% for every buff with a different icon, and it goes up to 28%. This is similar to the skill 1 effect, except that the crit rate given from this ability is applied to all of his attacks and not just his skill 1. Additionally, every time he crits, he will gain 1 of 3 unique buffs. Each of these buffs increases Luca's crit rate by 3% for 20 seconds. Basically, to simply put it, every time he lands a crit, he's just going to gain tons of crit rate from everywhere. When he crit 3 times, he's going to get all 3 unique buffs, and those will give him a bunch of crit rate, and on top of that, those 3 unique buffs also adds 10% crit rate each onto his skill 1. His second ability also gives him crit rate, but it's conditional. It's only when he gets hit by an attack that will inflict curse. So things like High Zodiac's initial blast and many of his other attacks will instantly proc this. Do note that Gala Luca does not have dual res, unlike most of the other Gala units. Luca only has 100% curse res, not curse and poison, which is fine because that's what High Zodiac afflicts, and it's probably fine to just have one type of resistance for future Agito bosses based on what we know from Expert Volk. His last ability is Flurry Devastation, and you all know what it does. 13% crit rate when his combo count is 15 or higher. This is going to be difficult to do for inexperienced blade players. You shouldn't have any problems proccing this in Micro Gauntlet because Roy doesn't move, but for fights like High Zodiac, you're definitely going to need to practice rotations and understand attack patterns in order to maintain a high combo as a blade. Overall, Gala Luca is definitely top tier among light units. I'm expecting him to be at the top or near the top in terms of damage. I personally didn't get the chance to use him in High Zodiac because my Luca is pretty small, but he's for sure viable in both Expert and Master's High Zodiac. I'm not sure how many guys know about this, but there's quite a few clear videos out there of Gala Luca teams clearing Master's High Zodiac in less than a minute. Yeah, less than a minute. That's crazy. He's incredibly strong, and I don't think I need to explain why he's better than Yachio, right? Anyways, outside of Zodiac, he's strong as well. I did try him out in Shadow Micro Gauntlet level 55. The team that I used had a healer. I used no helper. Luca was equipped with an off-element weapon, which was the 6-star Agito Flame Blade. He's only 7,200 might, 45 nodes, and I didn't even transform into a dragon once during the whole entire fight. Even with all that, I still managed to beat Shadow Micro Gauntlet level 55, and you can see for yourself from the clip that is shown on the screen. He's just insane and incredibly strong, and he's very easy to use, especially if you can maintain a 15 combo count. Even if you can't, it's not the end of the world because he's still really strong. He already has tons of crit coming from his other passives, and you most likely will be using him alongside a dagger such as Fleur or Mitsuhide in co-op, so their crit rate co-ability will definitely help with increasing his crit rate. Now, despite him being really strong, I don't think he's a must-have. He's not a must-have like Gala Yuden or Gala Cleo. I would put him somewhere in the same department as Cerise. They're very, very strong characters, but not must-have. If you are someone who enjoys playing the Blade, or perhaps you just like Luca as a character, then I recommend that you try and pull for Luca right now because he's the focus on this banner and you probably won't see him as a focus for a very long time. But please do remember that the Monster Hunter collab is coming up real soon and includes a limited banner, so maybe save some more money for that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments whether or not you're going to summon from this banner, or are you just going to save for the Monster Hunter banner. I also would love to hear what you guys think about our boy Gala Luca. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.